Hello everyone, sorry for the delay, thank you for being patient with me tonight. Let's go ahead and head over to General, where we will post the live message at everyone. Oh, Annie, we are live! Woo! Sorry for the wait, guys. We were running a little behind schedule with the bedtime routine and with the stuff and the things and putting away the food and stuff. But I'm here now. I made some delicious. Okay, so get this. I cooked for dinner tonight bao buns, which are like these just rolls of dough stuffed and then steamed. They're bao buns. They're like the size of your fist. They're delicious. And instead of stuffing them with the normal Oriental food, you know what I did is I took a massive, like, party-sized can of bean paste, and I mixed it in with diced chicken and several Mexican spices, and also a bunch of brown sugar. We're out of brown sugar, by the way, darling. Okay. And a bunch of brown sugar. And I made sweet bean buns for dinner. It was delicious. Very basic. I definitely have to tweak the recipe a bit in order to make it a bit more exciting. But it was very simple, very, very good, and the recipe was so easy. Just about anybody could do it given enough time. So, yeah, it was delicious, and I definitely am going to be playing with that soon in the future. But for now, I think we have our next quest in front of us. We are going to play Spyro. Switch Boy, hello, good to see you. How you doing? Welcome on in. Good to have you. We are about to start Spyro, the new beginning, and we are going to continue our adventure. So, without further ado, let's get back to it. Live and system bootsy full. Once again, I'm playing on the original disc, but for the sake of streaming, I'm going ahead and working through my legal copy of the PS2 BIOS on my computer. So everything is all legal and stuff. I'm doing well. How you doing? I'm doing good, Switch Boy. We're just hanging out. Gonna play some Spyro. It's gonna be awesome. If it will start up. Come on. You know you wanna. Hey, Rocky, how you doing? Good to see ya. I just need to update this screen here. There we go. Welcome on in. How are we today? I'm good. How are you? I am doing well. We're just getting ourselves set up. I was a little behind schedule. Let me know if the volume's weird. The game volume should be equal with that of my own voice, and we should be able to exist comfortably between one another. If we're not, let me know and I will adjust things a little bit. I just need to get my screen to not do the shut-off thing.
Exactly what I feared.
Currently getting mad at Hollow Knight. Hey, Kurtz, how you doing? Welcome on in.
All of us need to stand up to.
Hollow Knight. I need to get me some Hollow Knight. I hear it's good. Oh no, Muhammad! You incinerated me. All right. Oh my gosh, Rocky, I have been so busy on Wizard Battle. And you guys are getting one heck of a doozy of a patch. Oh my gosh. Is there an achievement with him? Yes, there is. There will be more summons. However, this one is even harder. So, be warned. There will be more summons, and they are going to get awesome. Curbs, it looks like you've got 8 power orbs. You better redeem those before someone tries to steal them. Type in exclamation redeem power orb. Yeah, you abused the bot. That's okay. I fixed it. I didn't fix it. I turned it off. Yeah, do that 8 times. Redeem all your power orbs so nobody can steal them from you, and you'll get an 800 power levels because you've got 8 of them.
It's my fault. I failed Ignitus when he needed me most. It's just that the sight of Cinder's so close. Just.
Sorry, Rocky.
Stop. Put ice in your veins. Scared the crud out of you.
You need to mana focus.
Something like that.
All warriors feel fear at one time or another, Spyro. There's no shame in that.
Also, I should close down all these extra
scientific
things.
fact that the quotient between adrenaline and trepidation. Voltaire, please. I believe our good friend here was trying to make a point.
There we go. Sorry, I'm just closing things down.
What I was going to say is that all warriors feel fear, Spyro, but only the most valiant among us can face that fear.
Twitch chat makes it so I can't send the same message 30 seconds after the first one. Curbs, if you put put dead letters in at the end, like type in exclamation power orb and then like AD, it will not be the same message, and it will still reference towards you because it's not referencing towards anyone else. So if you do that, you can spam a particular ability. Because there you go. Redeem power orb E, redeem power orb Q, redeem power orb X. Just all those.
Spyro, come here.
Yep. If you find yourself having difficulty attacking people because it keeps saying the same thing, try using different spells. There's a cooldown of its own. Yes, it does. You cannot consume in all of your power orbs immediately. Just so if you've got some stockpiled and someone starts stealing from them, you can't get them all away all at once. Would you say a good rule of thumb for RPGs is basic enemies die in a round of bashes, maybe with 1 or 2 attacks based on location? It depends on your RPG. So when you're starting off your game, you want an enemy to die in 1 to 2 hits. And for RPGs, absolutely have them die with a chance of surviving a single hit. So let's say a monster has 10 hit points. Have your main character deal 8 to 12 damage. That way for 8 to 15 damage. That way, for a majority of the very first level, you're either killing enemies in 1 hit or just barely about to kill them. Action economy is important. So if you have 2 enemies, like a small, you shouldn't outnumber your party by more than twice their size. So if you have 1 player, don't have more than 2 enemies on the screen. If you have a boss fight, you can have 3. If you've got a full party of 4, you might want to have up to 5 or 6 enemies on the screen. Action economy is very important.
Power to harness the soil, the wind, the world itself is now within your grasp. Let's begin.
Yeah, if you have any questions about your RPG, let me know. I'm more than happy to lend what I do know about RPGs, because I spend a lot of time in RPGs, and I've made a few of them myself as well. Nothing that ever came to any fruition, but I do know enough theory in order to get by. Gotta love the shotgun ability. It sucks that you weren't here last night. You could have gotten a lot of power levels. Yeah, yep, that's what happens. Boss battles. From now on, instead of planning boss battles once a month, I'm just going to do boss battles whenever they're absolutely, definitely ready. And then afterwards, I will give you guys a week's notice. Or 2 weeks' notice, maybe. It depends on how often I do it. Because unfortunately, that debacle last time was just not very good. There we go.
There might be hope for you yet, young dragon.
Over here.
Woo! This is the fastest I think I've ever gotten 5 people in my stream at once. Thank you very much, guys, for showing up. It means a lot. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I can lob little tornadoes. That's cool. EA Sports. It's in the game. Nice, Curbs. I love it. Very nice.
Leonidas may have been right about you.
This way, oh Mauve one.
Okay, yeah, I was doing it right. Oh no, my Sega controller!
Battles are won and lost in the mind, Spyro. Again.
Was I not fast enough? Just barely not fast enough. Press triangle to throw an earth bomb at the fleeing dummies, and aerial melee them when they are caught in the whirlwind. Defeat all the enemy's dummies before the time limit. There we go. Okay, good. That was enough. There we go. Come here. No, Switch Boy. Scholar at 300. Nice. I'll tell you what, Curbs, now that you're a high enough level, you should probably be able to take out that bot pretty easily. You can help Switch Boy get up in levels.
You might prove to be a true warrior yet.
Come over here.
Alright, time for Earth Fury. There you go, Switch Boy. Healing Aura is going to be one of the best ways to level your mana, but if you've got a lot of spare mana, you can also just cast a bunch of high power gain spells. Lightning spells usually work best for power leveling when it comes to damage spells. Try me. Try me! Squish squash. Alrighty, that was a good hit. $87, yeah, that was really good. Although Curves, now that you've reached Archmage, you might be tempted to try using Wild Bolt. Wild Bolt has a chance to grant you up to 100 power levels per shot. But it also has several random effects to it, so it could be very efficient or it could be not efficient at all.
Persistence is the key to victory.
Over here.
Oh, do I have to kill the big ones with a Fury? Wild Bolt is Spell Sage? I thought it was Archmage. Am I forgetting my own spell levels? It's been so long since I've needed to worry about that sort of thing. Alright, well, there you go. If that's the case, then yeah, healing spells are still really strong. And then if you need to attack something because your healing spells are on cooldown, definitely Thunder. Still trying for that Z-Sword, huh, Curbs?
Good job. Now, the final confrontation
Nice.
awaits.
Z-Sword's got a very interesting achievement. So basically, it requires you to use it a ton of times. However, there is an efficiency benefit for successfully gaining the achievement. If you want to find out, ask a mage who has it, or you can just learn it for yourself.
Done well, Spyro.
Yes, process, pat on the back, good going, all that other rubbish, but we've got to get moving here.
Oh, Cyril is terribly obnoxious, but in this case, he happens to be right, Pterodor. Ignitus is the final piece to Cinder's puzzle. If that last crystal is powered, the portal will open, and we'll all be done for.
I know. When I was on Munitions Forge, I overheard the conductor say that Cinder's final preparations would take place at her lair, where she lives in solitude among the clouds and the towers. I am certain that's where she's taken Ignitus.
No.
We have to go. Come on.
I'd give anything to go with you, young warrior. But that crystal sapped the last of my will. I fear my fighting days are over.
Every generation must pass the torch to the next, Pterodor. Our time is done.
Yes, it is Spyro's time to shine.
No,
Go to
you
it,
guys are
second.
3 fully grown dragons.
Wow,
Why
you guys
aren't
make
you?
even me want to face Cinder.
No, no,
Did I say that out loud?
no! Each one of you has the ability to fight. What are you doing? Good job taking down that bot. All on my own. Very nice, Curbs. Congrats.
Cinder's lair is where hope goes to die.
A little present from me.
A dark, foreboding place in which Cinder broods and skulks and plans her next assault. You must make your way to her fortress, where I'm sure Ignitus is being held.
Next time I say that I want to face Cinder, why don't you go ahead and punch me in the mouth?
Yeah, I can understand that, yeah. Alrighty. Okay.
Or made it sound like this place is uninhabited.
Now what fun would that be? Come on, we've got to take them out.
Okay. What was I doing? Well, first of all, I'm doing this. Because this earth bomb absolutely sounds like it would be fun to, Ah, I'm so close! Oh, so it turns into a wandering whirlwind. Very cool. Hi. Yeah, come on. Alright, time to lurk. Alright, Curbs, we'll see you soon. I do have a lurk command, if you want to play with it. It's pretty simple, but it's fun to do if you want to lurk. There you go. See you soon. Doesn't actually do anything, but yeah. Elemental Fury! Insert cliche teleport noise. I can do that. If you guys want a cliche teleport noise, I will absolutely do that. My firepower is whoosh whoosh. Go for it. Alright, I'll find us a teleport sound effect to use for the lurk command. Leveling up. We're doing leveling stuff. Oh, no wait, that's not what I want. Ah, shoot. I messed up. What are you pointing at, Sparks? So many experience crystals. You got it. Oh, thank you, Eyeball. Save the worms! Got him. Hey, are you stealing my mana? How dare you? Oh yeah! Breaking down barriers. That's what we're doing, right? Is that what we're doing here? We're being aggressively nice. Is that right? Kill him with kindness, but mostly kill him. Completely overloading this thing's processor. In the later games, they actually change up the abilities that the elements give you, so they're not anything like this in the second game at all. Some of them are really, really overpowered. And mana is not nearly as prolific in that game as it is here. But they also have some other cool abilities too. Sorry, Curbs, that is not actually a spell yet. I will work on that as soon as I can. I believe the spell you are looking for is actually already in the game, just under a different name. Use some arcane secrets and you'll find it. Oh yeah, arcane secrets. That whole thing that... yeah.
Did you change that?
Huh. I guess I did activate it. Oh, it's even bigger now. What did I change?
It's a spell now that you right?
Arcane secrets? No, it should be, is it still 300? It should be 1,000. You can't escape. It took nothing? No, it did not. It took a mana orb. Yeah, you had a couple. I think you had one. Yeah, arcane secrets represent your wizard doing research to discover new spells. So, by spending a mana orb and doing research, you can uncover enough secrets to reveal one spell. Just how many of these guys am I going to fight in this at this doorway? %35 of the game, and it takes 8 to 9 turns to take it out? No, that would be a boss. A normal encounter with monsters should not take you more than 2 rounds. If it does, you're underpowered. Unless it is a brute type monster, or is intended to be an obstacle. Like for instance, in a dungeon when you're dealing with like brute type monsters who are just much more powerful than the regular ones, that would be an 8 to 9 round. That's a mini boss. Oh no! Sorry, Curbs. I would. Oh right, you're on a phone, aren't you? Yeah. No. I'll tell you what. Message me with the with your arcane secrets that you have, and I will make sure that that group message is not erased, at least on my end, so that if Discord deletes it again, you can ask me to send what you've learned back to you. Okay? Either that or find a way to save them onto your phone. Maybe take screenshots. Ooh, take screenshots of them. That'll work. Yeah, Rocky's got them all. If you remember which numbers you had, you can, yeah. Woo! I am an elemental wizard! You cannot stop me! Yeah, you've got to remember that you want to make sure your battles aren't tedious. Each battle should have meaning. If there is no meaning to each battle, then they should not last more than 1 or 2 rounds. unless you're fighting in an RPG where every battle has meaning and it's literally the whole game is meant to be like an endurance battle against the environment, then you don't want your battles lasting more than 2 rounds, or people are going to get bored. Because I mean, how much do you walk in order to encounter the next fight? And then you have to spend 8 to 9 rounds of people attacking just to get through it. And then you take 30 more steps, and then you're back in another 8 to 9 round fight. You don't want those fights to last that long. Even in, like, if you play the old Final Fantasies, even in the final dungeon, battles rarely last more than 4 rounds for random encounters. And that's if they have a full complement. Basically, give or take, you barely want it to slip into round 2 if possible, because you want the battles to not feel too easy. But at that early in the game, yeah, absolutely, battles shouldn't last more than 2 rounds. Because at this point, you're dealing with monsters who have special, and those are just vanilla attacks. You have magical and special techniques, so. Okay, so those are vanilla attacks. If you're using your magical and special techniques, battles should not last more than 2 rounds. If you're using just plain vanilla attacks, you can get away with 3 or 4 rounds. But only if you have a full party of enemies. A single enemy should not, as a really good benchmark for basic attacks, and that includes, that does include low-level magic for your mage types, not punches from your mages. Like, if your mages are any good at combat at all, okay. Oh. No. I wanted to do this one. There we go. So, if your mages are good at punching at all, then a full round of attacks from your whole party should be enough to slay one monster, no matter what zone you're in. If your mages are absolutely no good, like they're dealing 10,000 damage with magic and only like 35 damage with punches, then a medium level attack for their zone should be enough to make up the damage deficit to take out a single monster. If you have a mage that does high damage spells and deals like group damage, as long as they are making elemental damage matchups, if they're doing critical damage with their elements, they should be able to wipe out an entire group of enemies with a single high-powered attack. Assuming that they're all weak against that element. If they're not, then that mage should be able to use a high-powered attack, and then the rest of your party should be able to wipe the rest out. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now. I mean, let's give you a scenario, alright? Final Fantasy, you're working your way through a dungeon, and you have Fyra. You've got Fire, Fyra, and Fyra, right? Now, you're facing off, you've got a party of 2 warriors, a healer, and a black mage, right? So, your black mage, the numbers aren't really that important because it changes based on what part of the quest you're in. Hey Zal, how you doing? So let's say you've got 3 levels of fire magic, alright? And you can spread those out against your enemies. Now, you have Fire, Fyra, and Fire, Fyra, and Fyra. Now you're facing off against a group of 3 enemies, alright? Now, you can use, and they're weak against fire, you can use Fyra at a cost deficit in order to take out that entire group of enemies in one shot. You can use Fyra in order to damage all 3 of the enemies enough that your warriors and healers can take out the rest of them. Or you can use fire in order to damage that enemy and one enemy enough so that the other players can take it out. Right? Does that make sense? That should be about the ratio that you've got going with your magic, with your party. The warrior types should be able to defeat enemies in about 2 hits, if they're not bosses, or tanks. Tanks should take about 4 hits. Because you don't want to one-shot all your enemies unless they're weak type enemies with your warriors. If you're doing goblins and a goblin king, absolutely give them 10 goblins and have your warriors taking the goblins out in single shots one at a time, or have your mage wipe out the weak enemies and then the warriors take on the strong target. There are 5 levels of magic. Okay. What are you? Ah, it's a monster! Well, if you're 35% of the way through the game, you should be accessing your second tier of magic. Your second tier of magic should absolutely be multi-attack. And at that point, you should start introducing different monster groupings. So right now, at the beginning of the game, you should have 3 basic types of monster groupings. You should have a single monster to learn how to play the game, a single tank monster, or multiple weak monsters. Now that you're 35% of the way into the game, you'll have already faced off against your first boss and have encountered status effects. At this point, you should have a couple of different kinds of encounters. You're going to have a balanced encounter with a weak character, a brute, and a weak character, or possibly 2 weak enemies and a brute. Or you should have a small horde, 3 weak characters. You can also have a group of 2 status effects and a weak character, or you could have a weak or a status effect and a brute. At 35%, I would hesitate to put a balanced party with a weak status effect and a brute all in the same party. That is more mini-boss level material. And then for boss fights, you definitely want to have a boss and a status effect. That leech had no clue what was coming for him. That was satisfying. Basically, you're going to build your encounters in a very organized fashion. You can't just slap things together and see if it works. You're going to want to take a party balance from the enemy's perspective into account when pairing it against your party, and you should make sure you're keeping track of the abilities you give your party members, because you want them to feel powerful, but not too powerful. You don't want to overpower your bosses, but you do want to overpower your minions. You want them to feel like minions aren't enough to take out your enemies, the players on their own. And the goal is to use the minions to weaken them for the boss fight so that they're not at full health. Yeah. I'll take those. Nom 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 nom. For example, Fire 1 does 95 to all enemies for 7 MP. Fire 2 does 188 for 12 MP. Okay, so what you're doing here is that you're actually increasing damage for a reduced resource cost. So, Fire 1 to Fire 2. Fire 2 is double the damage for less than twice the cost. I made the party member gear first, then the enemies. Okay. Yeah, so Fire 2 should be at least 14 mana points. It should be more efficient to use low-level spells over a long period of time than it should be to use high-level spells all at once. Fire 3 does 417 damage for 28. That's a huge damage jump. That's 2, 8, and 8 is 16. 16 is going to be 36. So it's going to be more than double damage for slightly more than that HP, MP. You need to adjust these values here, or they're not going to scale up properly. Because if you don't, then there's no point in using Fire 1 anymore. Because it's essentially worthless, because it doesn't do an equivalent amount of damage. Fire 1 should do more damage to make the early game easier, and then as you move forward, you gain access to doing more damage faster for a higher mana cost. Because you want to be able to do significant damage with the mana points that you have. This is one of the problems with a lot of games, is that the low-level power spells tend to get out-leveled. Oh, the bot is back, everyone. The low-level spells tend to get out-leveled, and then there's no reason to use them anymore. So having an ability that costs next to no mana but still does reasonable amounts of damage is very, very useful to have. So since your spells seem to be doing flat rates of damage and don't increase based on your character's stats, I would recommend that your spells become less efficient the higher powered they are. So you should actually plug them all into a calculator. Take the damage and divide it by the amount of mana points that you're dishing out. That's how much damage you're dealing per mana point. If they're not, the numbers should be inverse. You should be dealing less damage per mana point for each tier of spell. That'll keep your low-level spells significant while still making your high-level spells feel powerful. And the way to get around this is to give your players more mana, so that you have enough mana to cast those big spells as often as you want them to, but also, if they run out of mana, they still have enough mana to do significant damage. Small damage, but still significant damage. close. I'll get it after this kill. Oh, that one was nearly dead. There we go. I definitely want to upgrade you. Look at that spread. That's a very wide spread. Oh, that didn't do nothing. Hey, tasty, tasty jammy jams. They are so very good. Don't forget that that bot is active again, guys. If you don't want to get zapped, I suggest you take it out quick. Because it can and will. I adjusted that one. Fire 1 is the same. Fire 2 does 193 to 15. Fire 3 costs 33 and deals 419 to all foes. Fire 4 does 6012 to all for 44. And Fire 5 does 800 for 600. I think that's much more balanced. Yeah, plug them into a calculator. Make sure your numbers add up. You want to check your damage per mana point. So you put the damage in, and then you divide that damage by the mana cost to make sure that your numbers line up, and then write them down. Fire 1 is this much damage per mana point. Fire 2 is this much damage per mana point, and they should become less efficient. But not too much. Not too much efficient. There is a very fine line between making the higher level spells not worth the mana it costs to cast them. Because then you run the if you make them too inefficient, you run the chance of making your high level spells not worth it based on the amount of mana your character has. Like for instance, if you've got Fire 5 and it deals 800 damage, but it costs 50 mana and your character only ever has 300 mana, you're going to get 4 encounters out of that spell, and that'll be it. It's not worth the cost. You might as well spend it on lower level mana. Unfortunately, game design is game balancing, especially for RPGs, is really difficult and very number heavy. So you got to be willing to count the numbers. When I was going through for Wizard Battle, I was actually following all of these. Oh, Lexicon's here. Hey, Lexi, how you doing? Good to see you. When I was crafting Wizard Battle, I actually went through all of this when I was creating the spells. I had to balance the mana levels with the spells levels, and actually, if you if you read through the patch notes, I actually write down all the changes that I've made. If you're interested, because Wizard Battle is basically a combat simulation RPG. If you read through the patch notes of Wizard Battle, I actually have everything listed. And it's very, very specific. And I made each and every one of those changes for a reason. And you're welcome to read through those and see all the changes I made starting out. So, I mean, please feel free to do that. It's on the Discord under the Wizard Battle tab. And I have every single one of them from version 1.0 all the way up to whatever version we're on now. I think it's 2.5.3 or something. Okay, we're going this way. What is down here? Oh, no, wait. I just turned a circle. Okay, I'm getting lost. I'm getting distracted. really well with the little ones. I love overkilling them. Oh, I need to change that. I keep forgetting to change Final Fantasy V. I wanted to change it to an HDMI splitter, so we can stream the Switch in real time. Sparks! Oh no, there he is.
Heart breaking out.
Come on. Ignitus is waiting.
You're so dramatic, Sparks. Hey, Kiani, how you doing? Good to see ya. Welcome on in. We were just talking the nitty-gritties of RPG development. I was just telling people I listed all of my Wizard Battle notes, patch notes, and you can see the development that the game took if you're interested. They're in the Discord. Should be a fascinating read for anybody interested in game development. Because, you know, it's a game that I'm developing. Avnut Mask Maker? Who comes up with these names? Seriously. You change it so there's a 0.3 damage per MP difference between each of the spells. I'm not sure if that's going to be quite enough, but I'm not looking at the numbers, so I can't be certain. It's entirely up to you, depending on how you want to build your game. But, I would definitely recommend changing the numbers based on your heroes first, so that they feel significant and powerful once they reach maximum level, and just build their levels all the way up to maximum. Oh, I wasn't paying enough attention.
Here we go.
I love how appropriate that one was in their previous session. Oh no, Kiani! The bot's targeting you! Nami, jammy jams, they are so very good. Nami, jammy jams, they taste really good. They're so delicious, they're really good for me. I already use all of them, so I can make them free. Another thing with all the spells, with higher level spells, your turns take longer to activate. Oh, you have speed mixed in with it too. Okay, yeah, cool. But since it's turn-based, they do still activate before the end of the turn, right? So ultimately, that doesn't really matter. It just means that your wizards are going to be slower than the other characters, which is a development choice for quite a few developers. So that's in keeping with the lore of wizardry, slowing things down. Yeah, I mean, having them go last just means you got to keep them alive until the end of the round, which personally I think is a good move. However, I would also type in a few exceptions to that case. When it comes to status effect spells, I would really personally, as a gamer, like to see my status effect spells active at the beginning of the round. So I would say if you're going to make status effect spells that just do status effects, like a sleep spell that affects the enemy party, you want to try and get that to come out before anyone has a chance to take an action. So by its very nature, status effect spells, as a general rule, you tend to want them to happen at the beginning of the round. So I would suggest, I'm not going to recommend it, but I would suggest an exception in that case. It depends on how you're going to balance your game. That did absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. You have to be active first? There we go. Give me those gems. All of the magic casters have one status and spell effect that affects all foes on screen. They make your turn go slightly faster. Okay, yeah. I mean, now here's the thing. As a gamer, I would like to see that. As a developer, you don't want to give it to your gamers all the time. Because if they do, then it's going to be a common thing for someone to open up combat with a sleep spell or a paralyzed spell, incapacitate everyone on the screen, and then you can take care of everyone at your leisure. So you don't want it to work all the time. You don't want the spell to go off first all the time. Give it balance. Give it just enough speed so that it happens generally in the top end of the middle of the round. So there's a chance that you can end up going first, but as a general rule, you don't always end up there. That's your goal, but you can't give a gamer his goal all the time, or there's nothing to strive for. Now, if you were to spec out your wizard for speed, I don't know what that means in terms of your game, but I'm assuming that means it's not going to be too broken. What I'm saying is, speed-type creatures should outrun status effect spells. Brute-type creatures should never outrun status effect spells, and bosses should either be immune or resistant to them. And then normal guys, well, they're out of luck. Rari Tavern member. But of course, this is all just one perspective. Keep in mind that this is for a standard adventure through the story RPG. This is not a survival difficulty RPG. Or, for instance, an epic destruction fantasy RPG. It depends on what kind of a world you're going to make. If this is just your standard adventure, it'll work fine. But if it's a survival RPG, you definitely want to make things much harder and change the balance up a little bit. It depends on what kind of game you're going to make. So I will say these things, but with a caveat. You got to make sure that it matches your world. still alive, are ya? Ow! I think that was pretty good placement, don't you? Right at the right level, make sure you get them all. Ow. Hey, this is the first time I've actually had to fight a Dreadwing. Homing electric shots to the wind, for the win. Ice spells have been rebalanced. Oh, cool. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I knew it! Wait, wait! I got this! I declare this to be the easy transport. Hail Hydra! Hail Hydra! Why are we hailing Hydra? Zalvizan, why are you hailing Hydra? Bunch of people stuck in an elevator with a fighter. Yeah, no, I just threw them out of the elevator. Spyro with electricity breath is the best bouncer. Hey! The Vortex of Doom! Few can escape its whipping winds. Just a little bit more. What'd I get? Oh, it's even bigger. I love it. Oh, excuse me. Hello. Oh my gosh! I love these enemies! Zalmizan, did you see that? This enemy changes its elemental immunity based on what you hit it last with, which means that our elemental fury is absolutely the way to go with these monsters. I love it! There we go. Why didn't they have these things in the later games? These are really cool. So for those of you who aren't aware, when me and Zalbazan used to play the later games of this as kids, we used to constantly switch elements when we attacked in order to get this really deadly looking elemental fury attack. So we would do this and our colors would keep changing. And it was really fun. Give me just a moment, I'm still fighting something. Creates 30 mana at 1 foe. Ice 2 does 94 damage for 11 mana to 1 foe. Ice 3 does lots to 1 foe. 1 foe. 1 foe that costs. Gotcha. So, one of those does need to be multi-attack. However, if you want all your ice spells to be single target, your monsters need to reflect that. So when you're in a battle with ice-resistant monsters, you can't with ice-weak monsters. You can't have an entire group of them unless you have a multi-attack ice spell. Unless fire in your world is particularly dangerous or something for some reason. It's going to be really frustrating to not have a decent quote-unquote ice spell. So you definitely want to have an option for it, even if it's like a multi-attack ice spell, but it's not very powerful, which is common for ice magic actually. To be more directed towards single target effects, but deal more damage. It's common. But your monster's resistances need to reflect that.
Still don't like it.
Still doesn't matter. Ignitus needs us.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it would be easier if she was smaller. A lot smaller.
Bye! I love throwing them off the edge. So worth it. Fire is your consistent multi-attack. Ice is your consistent single attack. Thunder is your wild card because it hits random foes and can just straight up miss. If Thunder is your wild card, it also needs to be your highest damage potential. If it's going to have a chance to straight up miss, there will never be a single weak fire enemy. Okay. If Thunder is random damage, which is also a common theme for Thunder, then you need to make sure that it has the highest damage potential. In Diablo, Ice deals single target damage, but it's got a low resistance threshold. Very few enemies are immune to it, so it deals less damage. But it also has status effects. It slows enemies down. Fire is your best at doing AoE damage and damage over time, and Thunder has a really high damage potential, but it's also random damage. So a good fire spell will do up to 22 points of damage. Ice will deal 10 10 to 15, and then Thunder can do from 1 to 42. There will never, nor will there ever be many Ice Weak enemies. Well, if you want your fire attacks to be AoE, and your ice attacks to be single target, then perhaps instead of doing monster resistances, you can have those spells be for specific instances. Fire will do just multi-attack, ice can do just single target, and then thunder can be a hybrid between the two, or maybe perhaps be a chance for a status effect like stun, but also have a chance to miss. That could be another way to balance it, because it looks to me like you don't have. Because if you're ousting fire and ice as resistances for enemies, then it looks to me like you're balancing your game in a completely different way, which is totally reasonable, but also not quite what we were discussing. I was speaking with the intention of enemies having resistances. Here's the thing about Thunder: the higher level you use, the more enemies it hits, and the more often it hits. Okay. So that would mean that at the highest levels, Thunder would be the most useful out of all of the spells. And at the end of the game, it would be likely that you wouldn't use anything other than Thunder. I didn't quite get him. I was going to throw him off too. Thunder 5 has no chance of missing, and it hits any foe. Yeah, so by the time you hit maximum level, there would be no reason to use anything other than Thunder. So if it's fire, if Thunder 5 is going to be like that, it definitely needs to. There would be no functional difference between Thunder 5 and Fire 5. So you've got to have them have different effects. Perhaps Fire 5 could also deal damage over time and have a higher damage potential, but also cost more. It costs the second most, and many foes will resist Thunder. Well, then what's the point of using Thunder then? You see the difficulty that you've got here. If you're building, you need to build your spells, but you also need to build scenarios in which those spells would be ideal. Otherwise, there's going to be no real reason to use those spells, and your players will never see those spells because there will never be any need to use them. They'll try them once, see that they don't work, and then they'll move on. For instance, when Wizard Battle, I have low-level spells, right? And what's the point of using low-level spells later on in the game if they do next to no damage? Why would you ever use Zap if you have spells that deal 50, 100 damage? Why would you use Zap? The answer is because I actually intentionally created a scenario in which Zap is important. So, first of all, it grants you achievements, and secondly, Zap is really important because it costs next to nothing and it activates defensive magic for other people. The whole purpose of Zap is not to deal damage, but to be a utility and to be able to gain power levels for low levels. There's a try how to use. Thunder's weak to ice, ice is weak to fire, fire is weak to thunder. Okay. Yeah, so you want to make sure that when you're creating a spell, there's always an instance where that spell is either useful or unique. Because you want people to be able to call upon these spells for particular instances and say, hey, I'm really glad I had that. So, like for instance, so if a foe resists ice, use fire, and etc. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Just make sure that there is a functional difference between your other spells. I'm not saying like just elemental differences. You can do that, but you want to make sure that you are that you're giving people a reason to have those spells in the first place. Like when I was saying before, make sure your low-level spells aren't outclassed. You want to make sure that your low-level spells are still useful, even if it's just for poking. Why is it doing that? It didn't want to go off. Whoa! What hit me? I thought I got them.
I like trains.
No, wait. We can try again.
There we go. Tasty, tasty level up. It will be so delish. Not quite a level up. Maybe next time. Looks like Paulina's back. Hello, Paulina. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Thank you for hanging out. It's always nice to have you. That was nowhere near it. Oh, it wasn't quite enough. Okay, fine. I thought it might be enough, but it wasn't enough. Oh, they did that on purpose. Oh dear. That is high damage. Okay. I thought the... Ow. I'm throwing them into the security fields! It's the easiest win I've ever gotten! Never underestimate battlefield control, everyone. They literally walked right into it. The whole dang kitten caboodle. Hey! Ice is maxed out, everyone. Fury of the Perisher's Unending Blizzard. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Let's try it. I wanna see what happens. I wanna see what happens. Y'all are going to die. It's still going. It's still going. Oh, dang. That was fun. Ouch. Woo! Boing. Electricity seems to really work against these guys. These monsters, I mean, they slow this game down so much. Whoa! What happened to his health? It was just gone. Not sure what that was, but dang if it wasn't effective. La, 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 la. You cannot get away from me. Try me! Try me! You shouldn't have tried me. Damage to energy drop in the game goes from 22.05 to 16.82. Oh, okay. So it actually deals the least damage per mana point. So it's not very efficient, but it also hits multiple enemies. You got to take into account the more consistent it is, the worse value you're getting. Yeah, that's actually pretty fair. That tracks. No, 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 get out of there! I don't want my own death trap to be my downfall. Where's the last guy hiding? Oxus Strike Slayer, you are defeated. Yeah, Thunder dropping off definitely tracks, especially with how consistent it is with hitting high-level enemies. But it's still functionally just fire. You know? Like, if you're facing off against an enemy that has fire, and you're facing off against an enemy that has lightning, lightning will deal less damage than fire will. Overall. I mean, it's not quite level, because at the end of the day, a fire spell that hits all enemies and deals but they'll probably still spam it. Well, the goal, well, I can't say what the goal is. The way I see it, you need a spammable high-level spell for when you're dealing with trash enemies. However, you don't want to encourage, well, I guess you really do want to encourage them spamming if you've got the mana for it. The problem I have is that fire at maximum level hits all enemies and does a certain amount of damage. Whereas Thunder at a maximum level also hits all enemies, but does less damage for more mana. That to me doesn't seem balanced. So either the maximum level lightning should be more efficient, and there should be less, like, you know what you need? You know what you need? Arcane. You need to have a spell that does less damage but affects all enemies equally.
Oh, that kills me! Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Hey, come on. Whoa! Earth magic actually draws gems out of people. I didn't notice that until now. Hey Zal, how you doing? Oh, look, it's a Tim. I'm the Electric King. Those are just the basic 4 spells. Yeah, I mean, of course there are going to be more spells, but you need to balance your other spells based off of those basic 4. So, I mean, it depends on what. Oh no, Rocky! Ah! Every magic user has one special spell. It's a blood feud! Oh no, Rocky! Zalbazan is going at it with the blood shots! So many blood shots! I can't believe this is working. I'm just gonna stand here and... Oh, jump. And just flame him to death. That will go for a solid minute. Oh, Rocky is, uh-oh. Zalby's and Rocky is indisposed. She can't fight at the moment. I think you might want to hold off on that. Sorry, Rocky, we did not know. We'll try again with the blood feud another time, okay, Rocky? I mean, blood feuds are all well and good, but we don't want to overdo it. Let's try and see if you survive this. I think I just broke the game a little. I squashed. Goodbye. That's right. Appeal to me. I had max health orbs though. Num 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 num. Gems. Gems, glorious gems. They are so delicious. Eating them with phlegm. Yummy and nutritious. Running. Running. Plus, I know you can first survive a spell spam. Yeah, Rocky may be able to survive a spell spam, but my bot certainly can't. Ow! What is this? Torn to pieces. Ah! You bloated up the thing. That's right. Fight in the comments for my amusement. I shall make adjustments based on how the combat goes. Was I supposed to do a thing here? Oh, there we go. So... how's the shoulder? Zalby's and my shoulder is feeling a little better. So Zalbyzen had me over to his house the other day because he just got himself a VR headset. We played Beat Saber for the first time. My first foray into VR was glorious, to say the least. I've been waiting for this technology my whole life, and I was absolutely not disappointed. It was fantastic. I loved it. Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to try again. Oddball is totally supportive of me coming over every other week, by the way. So we need to work out a day to do that. Too many particles. The game can't take it. Oh, I missed. Gotta gather everyone together. Ooh, you have a VR treadmill place? Oh, I would love to get on a VR treadmill. I would play the mess out of some VR Skyrim. Bye, Rocky. Enjoy your lunch. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, for those of you who are subscribers, there's a new Tier 1 emote. We have a new Wizard Battle logo emote. And I also added a Wizard Battle logo mug to the merch shop. So now you can order a magic, color-changing Wizard Battle logo mug to go with your fantastic Mastermind OST merch collection. Order yours today. I'm really proud of it, actually. It took some development, but I managed to get the merch up and running, and I really like the results. It looks really nice. I'm looking forward to buying one and having it with my coffee. Seriously, how many of these places am I going to go through? These lightning effects are just slowing my game down. Should I have the character's special spells do more damage than the base attacks? Absolutely. Absolutely. Ultimate attacks should be devastating, but also be very expensive. Like have higher rates of damage per mana. I would say yes. Ultimate attacks are one of the few exceptions. However, it should also cost enough mana that you can't use it all the time. What I would recommend is I would definitely have a really high mana cost for those abilities, but they would also have an increased rate of damage. Let's say your damage rate, if I remember correctly, your damage rate was hovering around 15 to 25 for your spells. I would say have the damage rate of your spell per mana points be somewhere around 30. But then, the base level spells should also be really expensive. So you should make sure that your ultimate attacks cost like a lot to cast. So you can't cast them all the time. Or they should only be able to be cast under certain conditions. So for instance, if you have Ultima, and it deals, 3,000 damage as opposed to the 800 of Fireball, of Fire 5, then you should make sure that Ultima, Fire 5 costs you like 38 mana. Ultima should cost you like a good, it should do like a good 2,000 damage and cost you a good like 70 or 80 mana. So that even though the effect is much more efficient and much more powerful, you simply can't cast it because your character's mana pool can't handle it. My warrior's max stage spell costs 65 when they only have 197 mana by the time you get it. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds very good. Ultimate attacks, you should only be able to, it should take out a good chunk, like a fraction, a full fraction of your mana. I wouldn't recommend giving you more than 5 casts. Make out 4 casts of an ultimate attack before you have to reload. If you even get that many. It's common to only have 2 to 3 ultimate blasts. And if you've got especially powerful ones, you can have a maximum of a single shot. But it destroys everything on the screen. The screen clearers is what ultimate attacks are. However, there is a caveat to this. You should have your characters eventually be able to spam it, but only at really high levels so that you can introduce uber bosses, if you're planning on doing uber bosses at all. But what I would recommend is that if you've got your character built for it, when you're facing off against the final boss and your whole party has ultimate attacks saved up, you should be able to raffle stomp your final boss. Because your final boss should be easy enough to be challenging, but not insurmountable. So with a whole team of ultimate attacks, that should be a cakewalk. Because that's what uber bosses are for, is for the hardcore gamers. Final bosses are for casual gamers who want to experience the story. They're not actually hard. They just seem hard. A really good example of this is actually Final Fantasy IX's final boss. It has an ability called Grand Cross. It deals every status effect in the game, except death. It does not take any of your fighters out of the fight, just incapacitates them. Its ultimate attack only does a third of everyone's hit points at high levels. It's not actually that hard to deal with, because over the course of one round, your party can recover from that kind of damage, especially if you've got a competent healer in the group. Ultimate attacks are meant to be, final bosses are meant to be disruptive, but ultimately not too challenging. It's supposed to test your mastery of the game, not challenge it. If that makes any sense. Testing versus challenging. Like secret bosses, they challenge your mastery of the game. Also, final bosses just test your mastery of the game. Does that make sense? This is, of course, talking about ordinary difficulty. If you want to switch into different difficulties, that's a whole other ballgame. This is a really long elevator. I missed it. I was going to save. And yes, it does. Yep. Okay, if it has... Yep. If you've got multiple difficulties, then basic difficulty, that's the way it should be. It generally is. If you want to do more than that, it's going to take differences and changes. What are we? Ooh, we're here.
Spyro. Spyro.
What?
I don't like this. It feels like she's baiting us. I'm getting smarter.
Destroy the crystal! Quickly! Let's get him out of here before Cinder gets back.
I'm here!
If only it were that easy, little one.
So big.
Time you learned how complicated life can be.
And just stand there like a rube while you get hit.
Run! Spyro! Save yourself!
One punch and it's run,
This
save
time.
yourself?
This time I fight.
Bring it.
Alright, I thought we had one more level, but I guess we're at the end of the game. So, yeah. Yep, that's all I got. Ooh. Oh. Does Earth stun him? Ow. Huh.
All right, let's do it.
I see. So she's got wings, tails, and claws.
Ready?
Oh, I wasn't in the air long enough. Yes! She is a dragon. Wing, wing, tail, tail, wing, wing, claw, claw, tail, bite. Every single round. Until the end of time. She means she gets all the standard attacks. I think I just blew up Ignitus in the background there. Oh, I was in the wrong position there. I'm really concerned that, at this health bar, because I think she's got even more health than all the other bosses, and I might have to, dance to get this boss done. Oh no! see what Ice Breath does to her. Oh, that's effective. She's wide enough that it can actually hurt her. If I get her from the side, I can Ice Breath her really hard.
Look out, world.
Oh, wrong position. Alright, that was a very nice mana block. Ouch. Come on, we can do it. Whoa, I got her.
It's so
Round one.
sad it must end this way. Now, where was I?
Has she ever used doors?
Nope. Not even in her own stronghold.
There was something in her eyes, Ignitus. Something familiar.
You can really feel the era that this game was made in this fight. Yeah.
You and Cinder share more than you know.
We do?
It's time. I told you the truth. All of it.
Why didn't you do that from the
You
beginning?
see, after I took your egg to the Silver River, I returned to the grotto to find utter chaos. The other guardians had been overrun, and all the other eggs had been smashed by the Dark Master's forces. All except one. You see, the Dark Master was torn. He wanted to destroy all the eggs to prevent the birth of the Purple Dragon. But he also needed a dragon.
Why would he need a dragon?
'Cause, Spyro, only one born in the year of the dragon could open the portal that served as the Dark Master's prison.
Cinder?
I'm afraid so.
But if we come from the same place, why is she so...
Big?
Evil? Monstrous? Big? Sexy? Oops, did I say that?
Because, Spyro, after the night of the raid, she was corrupted by the Dark Master's poisonous powers, twisted by his evil law. She's become the Dark Master's monster.
But why? What does this Dark Master want?
He wants to be freed from the portal of convexity, to wreak havoc across the realms. And if Cinder gets there,
Can someone Google
he
convexity?
just might succeed.
It comes up in this franchise a lot, but I still don't know what it means.
I'm afraid we might be too late.
No. I refuse to give up. I'm going to stop Cinder and the Dark Master.
Ooh, wait, you heard the dragon, Spyro. He said, too late. We'll get him next time. Come on, champ. You did a great job, and let's take 5.
No. I'm ready. Now!
Okay, Spyro, you're right. At the very least, you have to try. If the Dark Master escapes, a shadow will fall over the land. And who knows what will happen then. May the ancestors look after you. May they look after us all.
Thunder. Yeah, to respond to what you were saying earlier, Zalbizem, you can really feel the era that this game was made in.
Complexity acts as an airlock between our world and the dark realms beyond. You must stop Cinder before she inserts the final crystal.
Jellyfish!
Activates the portal, freeing the Dark Master.
Can I just go touch the jellyfish first? Big jellyfish.
Now I've seen everything.
Yeah, if we don't hurry, I have a feeling you're gonna see a whole lot more. Come on.
I'ma touch it. Cinder's got a health bar. They're so big! I want one! What even is that? I love it! Whoever designed that monster needs a raise. Contact the game developers. That thing's awesome. Oh, look at that, a Chinese dragon. What are you doing here? That definitely looks like a boss zone over there. I do get to touch one of the jellyfish! Oh, I knew it! Alright, come here, you. You're my new platform. It's squishy! Can you hear it? It's squishy! It sounds just like I thought it would. Oh, I love it. Look at you, just swimming out there. I want to go find you. What even are you? Come here, you. Is it just going further and further away? It's just going further and further away. Oh, there's one. Let's go that way. See if we can find it. Oh, there you are. Hi. Oh, it's like a glowing flying eel. Okay. Alright, my curiosity is satisfied. Back to the quest! Now this is a combat platform if I've ever seen one. Apparently I've never seen a combat platform. Now why do you have two routes? I could go this way, or I could go that way. I think I want to go this way, because I feel like there's something over here. Could just be an ethereal realm, and there are just platforms floating. Could be mistaken. Oh, I love this place! Why did we never return here? Or maybe we did, and I just don't remember it. Oh. Oh. That looks like cinder flying around. I think I'm headed in that direction. Took too much from the budget. You know what? Sometimes you gotta go big. I mean, look at this. We got planets. We've got more planets. We got space monsters. We've got rings of Saturn. I love this place. Look at this place. It's awesome. This is amazing. This is an awesome final boss dungeon. Oh, and now we've got swooshing things. Oh my goodness. They completely outdid themselves here. Looks like we're on the final approach now. I like how Sparks is just like permanently red now. He's just like constantly like, danger, Will Robinson, danger! Squishy little jellyfish, he's floating oh so nice. Squishy little jellyfish, I'm not sure if I'll land on him. Oh no, I didn't!
Let's do it.
I hope I'm not too far back. Did you hear that? The voices in the background, the deep one is saying Spyro. Haha, there it is again. I didn't pick up on that. Nice. Dang it.
Oh, that kills people. Oh, wow. I think I didn't know that. Did you not know that? Yeah, I'm in the wrong.
Okay, let's try this again. But this time, without the dying. Woo! I was saved by a coyote time there. Did you see that? I almost didn't make that jump. Ah! Dang! I got dinged. Help! I've been dinged. Someone save me. There we go. I was starting from the wrong platform. What's closest? I think you're closest. Alright, here we are. Say your prayers now, everybody. We got ourselves a boss to fight.
My master returns.
We're too late.
Persistent little fellow, aren't
But
you?
will your master have opposable
This
thumbs?
is where it really ends.
Bring it.
No mercy this time.
I can't watch this.
Okay, that is way too many particles. Ooh. Did I just hear jump? Ow! I couldn't move, I was stuck. At least I have the lag advantage. I can see what I'm doing. Round 2. Where are you going, Cinder? Oh, ow. You know, with this hex grid going around, I have a feeling that this combat is going to be, she's going to be breaking parts off of this fighting ring. Can't catch me. Jeez, Rocky, your achievement list is getting long. Ouch. Oh, she stuns me. Still haven't collected them all yet, but I will. There's the spirit. Excuse me. I've done it before, and I shall do it again. Yes? But last time, there were much fewer achievements. Ow. Ow. Ah! Alright! That's 2 health bars down. Uh-oh. Oh, she's using a Darkness Fury! Nope, that was a Flame Fury. Alright. Whoa! Guys, I have Darkness Breath. Me. This new power just sort of came out of nowhere.
Now it's time to unleash the true dragon within you.
Fury! Oh boy. Oh boy! Homing, repeating, piercing bullets! No boss can stand against it! Don't forget to dodge. You can't dodge that. They didn't learn their lesson. Dodge! Goodbye, Cinder. Oh.
Oh, she is just like me.
Dude, we gotta get out of here now.
I can't leave her behind. I've got to save her.
What? Save the beast that's been trying to kill us?
Yeah, that wasn't her fault. She was being used by the Dark Master.
Ta-da!
Now we can go.
I'm right behind you, buddy.
Little pretty black dragon. Yeah. Whap! Ugh.
Mommy, fluff my pillow.
Feeling better, Spyro?
Not really, Ignitus. That battle drained every last bit of my strength. I can hardly lift my head.
No.
Yes, it will take some time for your powers to return. But they will in time, young dragon. They will in time.
Look at that!
Cinder,
Pre-established
ever since I failed the
rules
Night of the
for
Rain,
why you lose your powers at the beginning of the next game.
It wasn't just you, Ignitus. We
I love
all
it.
failed.
Be that as it may, we're together again now. Thanks to Spyro. Well done, young dragon.
Thanks, Ignitus. But we still don't know what's happened to the Dark Master.
No matter, Spyro. There will be time to talk of the Dark Master later. Now, it's time to be grateful for your success.
His success? Hey, what about me? Just because a bunch of weird stuff doesn't fly out of my mouth doesn't mean I didn't help, you know.
Yeah, you were a big help, Sparks. No doubt about it. But just for the record, a lot of weird stuff does come out of that little mouth of yours.
And what the heck is that supposed to mean? You know, I don't need this. I could have stayed with the llama people, whatever, where I was appreciated, but no. No, I decided to help the poor, helpless dragons rid the world of evil. What a mistake that was, because I get no thanks. No respect, no love, no credit.
My goodness. And I thought Voltaire talked a lot.
I left home too, you know. I'm a little guy, yeah, that's right. Maybe you haven't noticed. Things are a lot bigger to me than they are to you. And did I back away? Nah, nah, nah.
To be fair,
Why, 'cause
he
I
has a
got
point.
bugsy.
He is a bug.
I'm a tough cookie. I got class. I got a little frog in my throat. As I was saying, on tall plains they knew a good thing when they saw it. They recognized the value of a quality dragonfly like me. But here I get nothing. Not even a thanks.
I don't remember
Hey,
Sparks
how you
being the
doing?
best.
Good. Let me
Just
buy
like
you
a
a
cute
drink.
little high-pitched squeak.
I should
Yeah.
go back to the swamp. Mom will make it all good. Mommy always does.
Poor little guy. Oh my gosh. Thank you very much, everyone, for hanging out. We're gonna relax with some credits. And then, I don't know. We'll see where we go. I'm actually feeling pretty good. I might be ready to start up the next game. How you guys feeling? You want to see the next title get started up? Spyro is Elijah Wood. Ignitus is Gary Oldman. Nice. Yeah, as Zalbizen was saying earlier, it's very easy to tell what, Whoa! Bahamut incinerated Zalbizen. Ouch. It's very easy to tell what era this game came from. As you can probably guess, it was once again, influenced by The Lord of the Rings when it came out during that time period. It was all about the epic fantasies back in those days. Lord of the Rings, Polar Express, Chronicles of Narnia, the Golden Compass. That's for the Bloodshot earlier. Yeah, and the influence is definitely there. And personally, I have all sorts of enjoyment and respect for the people who work on high fantasy games and high fantasy resources, because it's really hard to make a world that is vibrant enough to feel like a high fantasy. A high fantasy world requires lots of storylining, lots of setup and build up and ability. Oh wow, Zalbezen, what's your health at, man? You know, and the the world building was just really, really good. I was correcting it, but not going to now. You need 15 health in order to cast a Bloodshot. There you go. Aww. Look at that. Rocky gave you an olive branch, Zalbezen. What are you going to give her in return? I wonder. The People's Republic of Animation. Huh. Interesting. Anne-Marie Weber, assistant sound designer. Why are there so many Webers in sound? No, buddy friends! We're getting swarmed by skeletons, guys. Oh my goodness. Zalbezen. A horde of skeletons. I swear. Everyone dances to exhaustion. Mm-hmm. Rocky hit the Rickroll towards Zalbezen. Oh my god. Now we're just throwing insults. Oh my goodness. Ow. Thanks, Goose. No! So many things in the chat. Oh, goodness. Ooh, focus testing. You don't see this too often. Many thanks to our partners, spouses, and families who put up with us being away while we were working on this project. Welcome to the world. Production babies! Yay, production babies. Woo! They will get to grow up knowing greatness. Bum, 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 bum. Bow, 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 bow. How's the little one growing? He's growing good. We've got a, yeah, he's coming out mid-September, so it's getting close. We have to start readjusting the house, moving the crib, readjust the crib, move in the bassinet, that sort of thing. Oh, is she gonna speak?
See anything, Spyro?
Oh, she does speak.
No. But I've got a bad feeling.
Me too.
Ta-da! Ooh, we have extras now. Elijah Wood interview. All right.
And what I'm excited about in regards to this game is that it's sort of telling the story of Spyro from the beginning. He's actually a small purple dragon that is raised by dragonflies. He doesn't realize he's a dragon. And within the story, as the story progresses, he learns of his true self, where he comes from. You know, that there are these elders, these kind of guardian giant dragons, and that he's one of this ilk. And throughout the game, he starts to learn more about what he's capable of as well. The significance of being a purple dragon is something special. The powers that come along with that. And what's really cool as a player, I think, is that you get to learn these different attributes throughout and use them in different ways, such as breathing fire, which is kind of typical to dragons, or breathing ice, or electricity. And these things just kind of come throughout the game. And it's a really, really interesting story-based game that I think is quite immersive, which is cool. If I could leave with one of Spyro's powers, what could it be? It's tough. They're all pretty good. But the old standby, the ability to fly, you know, that's a big deal. Breathing fire, okay. That could be, I mean, I could really run into some trouble with that. You know, can you lessen the amount of fire that you're breathing? What if you only intend to, like, I don't know, light a candle, for instance, but then you light up your couch? You know, that could be really problematic. Electricity could be good because you could probably infuse something with power, but then how do you know, like, how much power to infuse it with? Like, how many amps it takes? I mean, if you go overboard and then you burn out all of your electricity,
I'll say,
bad.
lighting your
Ice
couch
could
on
be
fire.
good,
Yeah.
but then I could see that being extremely dangerous as well. I mean, all of these things I think you'd have to learn how to regulate, because you could freeze yourself, you could, I don't know, I think there's a lot of, flying's the safest. I'll go with flying. I mean, he's a character that sort of starts out entering into a world that he's unfamiliar with and taking aboard something that is kind of quite massive. It's not dissimilar from a journey that I'd taken before as someone who's embarking on something that is sort of bigger than they could conceive of, or bigger than them.
Elijah Wood, yeah, I'd say
this
so.
session today, and I was told that I didn't know who the rest of the cast were. And I came in and I was told that Gary Oldman did the voice of Ignitus, which blows my mind. I mean, he's one of my favorite actors of all time. A true chameleon, someone that you can't really peg, has done every kind of voice, character imaginable.
I mean that my time for heroics is past, but with your help, we might be able to beat sin.
Where's the joke sound effect?
I can't.
I don't have
I just
one?
learned what I am.
You can, Spyro.
What kind of a sound effect would you like?
You are a
Put it in the suggestion section.
A very special creature.
It's a pleasure to be associated with him, because I'm such a huge fan. And David Spade as Sparks as well. I've met David a couple of times, and he's a really sweet guy and really, really funny. And for this kind of character, it's so important to have someone that's sort of biting and sarcastic and funny. Sparks is definitely all those things, and David Spade's perfect for that.
Spyro, can you hear me? Are you okay, buddy? Hey, listen, forget about those cracks I made about your fatness and your being purple and stupid and fat.
I'm very much, as a gamer, I'm very much attracted to a game that includes a great story that I can sink my teeth into, that will allow me to kind of continue to focus on the progress of the game and lead to other games. You know, my favorite games are story-based games. And if the story's good and the actual gameplay is fun, then yeah, that's all you need, really.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Alright. That was the Elijah Wood interview. I'm sure there's more, but I have not perfected this game. And there is no difficulty, so that might be all there is. Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for hanging out. How are we feeling? How are we doing? We up for more? We want to keep going? What is our goal for this evening, guys? we can call it. We've got about 15 minutes left, or we could go overtime and do something else. We can do it more if you're up for it. I am totally up for it. I am psyched. I can't wait to start the next game. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go for it. What I'm going to do is we're going to take a pause. I'm going to end the stream so that I can start up a new recording instance. Actually, I don't have to do that. I can just separate out the file using my program. Okay, I don't have to do that. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to pause here. We're going to take a minute or two break while I go and get everything running again. And I'm going to go get the other CD, and then we will start up on the next game. Take a break. Woo! Yep. Go get your things. Go do your stuff. Take a bathroom break. We're going to take a $5, and then I will see you back here for part 1 of the next game. The Legend of Spyro. Not A New Beginning. What is the next one? Not Dawn of the Dragon. The one in between those two. Anyways, be right back, guys. Have fun. I'll see you later. Here's a free combat bot on me. Enjoy.
Big boop.
And we will be right back. I'll see you guys soon.